looking all crooked today. Well, my thing is looking crooked, but I'm just gonna let it ride. Hey guys, hopefully you guys can hear me. I wanted to get on here really quickly because I have been on several lives today, and I wanted to talk about why can't I see the chat? This is so weird. Oh, this is draw. Wait a minute. Okay. Hey Fabby. Okay, so I guess I can't see the chat. It just it just wouldn't let me do it. It's my screen is looking weird, so forgive me. But I was saying I wanted to hop on here really quickly because I've been on several lives today, and on two of them there was this conversation that broke out. One was about politics, one was about something else. And this thought came to mind that we struggle sometimes. Yes, I can see you. I couldn't see you, but I can see you now. Sometimes we really struggle with having conversations with people when we don't agree with them, and I think that that is such a disservice to. I'm over here looking for my lip gloss because my lips look ashy. Forgive me, just 1 second. Sometimes we lose so much. We waste so much time, and we cause ourselves so much anguish and injury and annoyance and frustration because we don't know how to talk to people that we don't agree with. So I wanted to hop on here really quickly. I only got a pair of seconds because I just finished sessions and I'm tired, and I know somebody else has a live at like 20 minutes, so I won't be on here long. But I wanted to give 10 tips on how to communicate with people who you might not agree with. Okay, because often those are the best relationships. The best relationships come from, at least in my life, are with people who I don't agree with. People that we see the world differently, we have opposite points of view, all of those things. So, number one, you want to enter those conversations with curiosity, not combat. You want to approach the conversation with genuine desire to understand the other person instead of entering the conversation to prove a point, because we all have that list of preconceptions, we all have that list of notions of things that we want to just get out into the universe, our viewpoint, our opinion, our vantage point, what we've studied, what we know, right? We all want to get that out because if you're like me, you like being right. I say that all the time. But instead of approaching it like that, approach it with genuine desire to understand, genuine curiosity, and ask yourself first, what can I learn from this person? What can I learn from this perspective? Okay. Number two, respect before you correct. And this is one that I've had to practice because I'm one who is primed. It's the teacher in me, it's the therapist in me. I want to address the thing that I think is wrong, especially if I know it's just crazy wrong, like it's just wrong. I want to be like, no, that's wrong. However, mutual respect builds trust. So sometimes if I immediately come at you with the thing that I believe is wrong, then guess what? I've lost your respect. I've made you feel disrespected. I made you feel unseen and unheard. And so instead of doing that, respect the person's point of view before you go ahead to correct it. The other thing too is, and I've learned this especially in the past couple of years, separate the person from the position. Okay? Separate the person from the position. So if they have a different faith than you, if they have a different viewpoint than you, if they have a different political allegiance than you, if they have different ideas about things that you are very passionate about, that does not mean you throw away the person. That doesn't mean that you throw away. I mean, I have family members that completely disagree with my methodology, the way that I lead my life. They're like, we don't get it, we don't understand. That doesn't mean I throw away the people, right? I might not hang out with you all the time, or we might not see eye to eye on everything, but that doesn't mean we can't have a casual conversation, right? Disagreeing with someone's opinion about a thing or several things does not mean you have to dislike them. Does not mean you have to treat them badly or differently than other folks, okay? Focus on the idea that they're presenting if you're in one of those conversations instead of the individual. Like, you must be stupid if you think that. How is that helpful? And how does that get your opinion, idea, ideology, how does that get that across? How is that even a plausible argument? You're attacking the person, not the idea or the position that they hold. Number 4, be, again, another one that can be difficult for me, right? Number 4, be willing to listen more than you speak, okay? Because I am one, I'll be burning it down. I know how to talk. I be burning down the chat. I want to get my view in. I want to get my point out. And sometimes that's great. And other times, especially if there's a heated exchange or disagreement, I have to be willing to listen to the other person's viewpoint, listen to the other person's side, listen to, and really listen, like active listening, not just listening to make my point, right? So you have to be willing to listen more than you speak. And in order to do active listening correctly, I want to listen and then I want to restate what I thought you said. Because here's something I learned this in marriage. What the person said and what I heard is often two totally different things. They can say a thing, but because I hear it with my filter, with my inflection, with my history, with my trauma, with all of my stuff, they might not even have said what I thought they said. They said something different, but what I heard was something that was layered and nuanced and had a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't say. So I have to listen and regurgitate what I think they said, okay? Number 5, check your own biases. So we all come with our own, again, to the last point. Excellent point, Miss Fabby. How boring would life be if we all agreed on everything? Listen, how would we learn? If we all agreed on everything and saw everything the same, how would we ever grow? How would we ever advance? How would we ever learn? We will all just be kind of robotic in our, there would be no, think about it, it would be no art. There would be no celebration of certain types of beauty if we all valued the same thing, right? So excellent point, Miss Fabby. So you want to check your own biases. Like I said, we all come with assumptions. We all come with preconceptions. We all come with our ideas and our ideologies. And so sometimes we have to put them out and make sure that we are not operating under that before we even allow the person to be who they are. I know I've struggled with this a lot in places of ministry. It's like, well, you know, I'm a little bit over the top.com. I've always been like this. And people will be like, well, you can't tell me nothing because people that look like you are a certain way. And it's like, well, what does that mean? Check your biases. And I know I have thought certain things about people because of my education and not necessarily education, but my upbringing, right? I've thought certain people are like this and certain people are like that. And that's not necessarily the case. You bring that stuff with you, but you definitely have to parcel it out and examine it because stereotypes and biases are not always true. Okay. Number 6, use I statements. I've said this before in other videos. Use I statements, not accusations. So instead of saying you're wrong because, say things like, I see that a little bit differently. I understand what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree, right? You want to make sure that you are using I statements and not making assumptions again about the person. And that reduces their level of defensiveness. Like if you say you, then that makes me want to fight you. I'm just saying, whether that's intellectually or whether that's with hands and feet. If you keep saying, you know, you, it causes me to become defensive. Okay. Number 7, you want to find common ground with the person that you are speaking with, right? You want to find common ground, something we can agree on. Even with this litany of things that we don't agree on, usually you can find common ground and there will be something that we can agree on. So try to find that in some of these difficult, tough conversations. No, we might not agree on politics. We might not agree on religion, but we can agree on good food and what that looks like and what that tastes like. Can we talk from that point of view? Can we talk from there? There's always going to be something that we can agree on because we can't just, hey, we like cats or dogs. Like, no, everything about us is not going to be different, right? Number 8, ask thoughtful questions. Instead of reacting to salacious commentary, right? The thing that makes you really, really mad, ask reflective questions. Say things like, what led you to that belief? How did you come to that conclusion? How did you come to see it that way? Did you always think of it like this? Sounds like a therapist, right? Did you always think of it that way, right? What changed in your outlook and your disposition? Can you tell me more about that? Right? Asking very thoughtful questions has a twofold effect because one, you're getting more information, and then also that whole thing about people being feeling seen, heard, right? That comes into play too. So you're doing a two-pronged approach there. Number 9, know when to pause or step away. Now, if you use all these other 8 tips and it's still high intensity, high octane conversation, you might want to pause and step away, right? If a conversation becomes too heated, it's okay to take a break or a pause. You can say, hey, I appreciate your viewpoint. I appreciate this discussion. Let's revisit it when we both have time to reflect or to calm down, right? Let's revisit this at another time. So at that point, you don't damage the potential relationship that you could have with the person, again, because their viewpoint is different or variant than yours, all right? And then number 10, this is my last point, agree to disagree with grace. Not every conversation is going to end with agreement. They don't have to end with disaster, but it also doesn't have to end with disagreement, right? The goal isn't to win. I know it's hard because I always want to win, right? But the goal isn't to win, it's to build bridges, it's to build relationships, not walls, not, again, blowing up relationships, right? Sometimes simply parting with mutual respect is enough. So, again, I wanted to hop on here really, really quickly, give these 10 points and get out your way. Again, you will see me online in various groups and various chats with various different types of folks, some of which who have totally different ideas, ideologies, viewpoints, articulations of those viewpoints. And I value those relationships. I value those interactions. There might be some that I'm like, okay, I'm going to just step on. I'm going to be like Homer Simpson and fade into the bushes in the background. But for the most part, I learn. For the most part, I'm in community. For the most part, I fellowship with people that are not like me. As much as I have people that are very much like me, I feel like the ability to interact with people that have different viewpoints is how you learn and grow. And so the next time you get into a heated discussion, try to use some of these tips if you can. Put some of your questions, comments, concerns, issues, tissues, rebuttals in the comment section, and prayerfully I will see you guys on the next video. Have an amazing night. Go in peace.